Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into Cory Comments On. I'm your host, Cory McKnight, and you can join me every Friday at 2 and 5 p.m. right here on allwnyradio.com, or you can get the app, All WNY News and Radio, in the Google Play Store, and check it out whenever you want in podcast form, and there's a bunch of other cool stuff, too. So, get it. Why don't you? I gotta remind you every show. Come on, you guys. Anyways, what's up, everyone? I missed you last week. I forgot to do the show, and I was sick. That probably played a part in why I forgot to do the show, but I was coughing a lot. I still am coughing a lot. Feels like I'm hacking up. Yeah, you don't even want to know. Hacking up along. But I feel good enough to do a quick show today. So, Friday, August 24th, 2018. That is today. I am back, and it's National Waffle Day. For all the breakfast food lovers out there, which I am heavily included in. I could not live without breakfast foods. Could eat them any time of day either. I mean, it doesn't matter. 7 o'clock in the morning, obviously breakfast time. 7 o'clock at night, still breakfast time. I don't care. It's National Waffle Day. Waffles aren't my absolute favorite for breakfast. I'm a French toast kind of guy. But I had waffles for breakfast yesterday and had no idea that this was coming up. I celebrated early, I suppose, and had some delicious blueberry waffles, and I love them. Maybe not as much as French toast, but I love waffles, and that is no lie. Speaking of liars, though, segues. Speaking of liars, that's what I want to bitch about today. I had posted a little tease on Twitter, at allwnycory, by the way, go and follow me, about what I might be talking about coming up in the week, and here it is. Liars is the topic, but I want to talk about one particular liar for the most part, and maybe how it relates in general. This son of a bitch from Colorado, Christopher Watts. I don't know if he's from Colorado, he lived in Colorado. Christopher Watts, this is a big news story right now, national news story. It has been going on for a couple weeks at least. I first heard about it on the radio when I was driving around, and it just caught my attention immediately because of how, heinous this case is, and how many questions there were, and just how crazy the whole situation was. If you're not up to speed, I will quickly read a little bit from an article that'll give you some good background here, and you'll know why this guy is such a bastard. The father of a pregnant woman who was killed on the same day as her two daughters wept in the courtroom as his son-in-law, that being Christopher Watts, was told that he was being charged with murdering his entire family. Christopher Watts is 33, and he answered yes, sir, to the judge, as he was told he could face the death penalty or life in prison if he's convicted of killing his pregnant wife and children. The news agency said he was wearing an orange jumpsuit and shackled at the wrists and ankles. Watts was on a Monday charged with killing his pregnant wife, Shanann Watts, and their two daughters, 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste. The worst part about this whole thing, we got 2 young children and an unborn child, and his wife are all gone, 4 people. The mother and daughters were reported missing last Monday, and the bodies were found last Thursday. Mr. Watts was arrested on suspicion of the involvement in their disappearances last Wednesday. But before he was arrested, and while the children and his wife were still considered missing, Chris Watts went on national TV and made a fool of himself, lying right into the camera, lying right to everybody about how he has no idea where they are, and if his wife just took off with the kids, just please come back, or if somebody has them, just please return them, and just fake emotion all over it. The guy is literally like a sociopath. You can just tell from, I would highly suggest looking up that TV interview that he did about a week or so ago when it was still a missing persons case and not yet a murder investigation. Now a lot more has come to light. This bastard not only had the nerve to go on national TV and just straight up lie and, look for sympathy, too, when he's a killer, now an admitted killer, but you could see right through it anyway. So I don't know how anybody, and I know the police are not dumb, I don't know how anybody could possibly for a second believe that guy was sincerely asking for the return of his family, or that they just come back on their own accord because they're missing. They're dead. You killed them, Christopher Watts, and then lied about it to police, to the national fucking media, to the entire nation. That is disgusting. Later on, after it really started to crumble on him, the pressure was really on, just a few days ago, he changed his story for probably at least the second or third time about what had happened leading up to their disappearance and why they might be gone. And he admitted that he did kill his wife. He's an admitted killer now, murderer. He admitted to killing his wife only, his pregnant wife, mind you. But he said that he did it because he saw his wife strangling Celeste and Bella, the girls, and he went into a rage and then killed her by strangling her. So, accusing his now deceased wife of murdering his now deceased children, and that's why he killed her, because he went into a rage when he witnessed on the baby monitor, I think it said, that she was choking and killing the children. What a crock of bullshit. I literally can't believe this. This one really irritates me, and that's why I'm glad I have a rant podcast where I can just get this all out, because it really has bugged me that not only is he just a straight, cold-blooded killer, sociopath, no feelings, but he's also a fucking liar, and I cannot stand liars, especially people that will just stand right in front of you, look you in the eyes, and say whatever they gotta say what you want to hear, and they're manipulative people. This guy's like at the top of the list for that. But that's his story now, is that he killed his wife out of rage for killing the children. The bodies of the 3 women, or the 2 girls and his wife, were discovered a short time later, and the children were inside of crude oil tanks that were on the property of where Mr. Watts used to work. He was just fired once this investigation started, just a short time ago. That's where the bodies of his daughters were, in a tank of oil, floating in crude oil. Disgusting. His wife was buried somewhere in the vicinity as well, at the place of employment for Mr. Watts. How does this make any sense, this story that he killed his wife because she killed the children, so then he dumped all 3 of them, buried one, put the others in a tank? This is literally the worst shit ever, but I'm just glad that the death penalty is on the table for once. I still hope for a fair trial. I think there's going to be a lot of details that come out in this thing that are going to be really disturbing, first of all, and will also shed light on what really happened leading up to this event. But as terrible as it is, I just wanted to generally comment on how much I hate people who lie, and how fucking much of a cold-blooded fuck do you gotta be to not only lie to your friends and family, which is probably the worst of all, but to the police, to right into a camera for the entire nation to see you. It was all over social media, and once I heard that interview, I knew this guy was guilty right away of killing all 3 of them, and the unborn child as well. I don't believe he will get a charge for that for some reason. He should have 4 murders on his head, but we're going to see what happens as this trial works out. But my advice to you, the listener, to tie this all up, is don't keep company with liars. Not all of them are murderers, not all of them are cold-blooded sociopaths like Christopher Watts, but liars are manipulators. And you don't need that in your life. Do not keep company with them. They will drag you down, take you down to Chinatown. They will fucking ruin your entire positive outlook on things, and with their negativity and their bullshit and manipulations. So if you know somebody in your life, or several people, who are kind of known to tell a white lie here and there, or are compulsive liars even, you got to keep them at arm's reach. They will lie, they will say whatever they want to get what they want to get, and regardless of what you want, they don't care about anybody usually. I hate liars. That's what I want to bitch about today. How do you feel about people who lie? Do you have people in your life that you wish wouldn't lie to you, and you know that they are, but you just got to let it go? How do you feel about this Christopher Watts case? Obviously disturbing, but what do you think really went on with this? Do you buy his story of killing his wife because she killed the children? I don't. I hope nobody does. And would you like to see him get either life in prison or the death penalty? It's on the table. Colorado, death penalty, they can do it. Are you in favor of that capital punishment? Let me know about all this stuff on Twitter, at allwnycory. That is not a lie either. My Twitter is at allwnycory. I swear I'm telling the truth. But anyways, guys, hit me up on Twitter if you'd like to get into the discussion. If you'd like to eat some waffles, you don't have to hit me up on Twitter. You can just eat waffles on your own, but maybe send me a picture of your nice waffles. That sounded really bad. All right, guys. Have a great Friday. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining me on Cory Comments On. Everybody take care. Have a great day. I'll see you in a bit. See you.